7 o'clock, and we will start with the pledge, and everybody will rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lucy, would you do the roll call, please?
Yes. Karen Sprague. Rich Barton.
Here.
Jeffrey Schneider.
Here.
Frankie Schwartz. Here. Sarah James. Here. Deanna Wires.
Here.
Ginger Shank.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion to amend or adopt the agenda.
So move.
Which way? Amend or adopt?
Adopt.
That's not a so moved one, Rich. Adopt the agenda. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Motion's been made and seconded to adopt the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion is approved. And we have our board norms. I think everybody knows them. I think we've done a pretty good job of sticking to them. And then we have a single recognition, just one. Just one.
That's right.
He's tall enough to make up for about 3 minutes.
That's right. So Troy Anderson's here. Congratulations, Troy. So we're recognizing Troy for all-state basketball, which is fantastic. So congratulations,
You have to sit on the floor to be the height you were when you were in 3rd grade, when you were last in my class.
Sure. So you might think basketball's been over for a while,
that's fine.
but Troy has also been involved in a lot of other things like baseball and had quite a great awards there. So we're real proud of Troy and his parents for the support they gave Troy to get him where he is. He's going to be playing ball at Truman State next year. So
If
congratulations,
somebody
Troy.
had told me he was going to be this tall when he was in 3rd grade,
Us
I
too.
don't think I would have believed that, really.
We were hoping for 6 foot.
Yeah, I know. He
know.
bypassed that.
Thank you.
Where's the height come from? Good professional sport.
A lot of my family is tall.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Congratulations, Troy.
Thank you. Thanks, Coach.
Hey, buddy.
No, I think we're okay. Do we have any patron comments, Lucy?
Not tonight.
I didn't think so. All right, so we are ready for superintendent reports, right?
Yes, okay, so maybe this microphone's a little better. That one was pretty hot. Now this one doesn't work at all. Okay, maybe, yes, no?
Yes, I
Okay.
think so.
Okay, well, hopefully I'm talking loud enough they can hear me online and everything. All right, so first thing is communication. So on the communication one here, we just have kind of a report of the data that we have. Communication is a lot of different ways we can talk about wherever you want to talk about, but data-wise, Facebook, we have 5,844 users that follow us. Most of it is women, almost 80% women, 20% men. And so our main demographic are really women between 25 and 54 are who we reach there. Instagram, we have a lot fewer users, 800 Instagram users, and that's 85% women, 15% men. And really our big groups there are women between 35 and 54. Twitter has 1,288 followers, and YouTube has 154. But our most effective way of communication is direct communication to people, like our school board notes. We delivered 5,620 of those directly to individuals. One of our big pushes for this next school year is to broadcast activities. And so I'll be curious to see, and we'll broadcast that on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. And so if you wanted to watch a soccer game or softball or football or any of our activities, it'll be on our social media sites, and so people can stream those live. And I think we've got the audio worked out, so we might be able to have that real broadcast, but we for sure will have a video and the scoreboard connected to that, and we hope to do that as often as we can. So that'll be a little bit of a challenge for us just to get the manpower behind it, but we have the technology working. So it'll be interesting to see if that moves our communication numbers in any direction next year whenever we're talking about that. I think YouTube would be the area that we would see an increase, but I'm not sure.
Is the broadcast just for home games?
Well, we could do away games. It's just a matter of will we have people to do it. So the way the program works, you can plug into the back of any scoreboard, and everything we have is portable. It doesn't require to be on any networks or anything. So as long as we can get access to the back of the scoreboard, we can see the score, the clock, you know, so it's counting down. So you actually know what's going on at the games.
Yeah.
You know, without having the voice of the Warriors sitting by your side, like you don't have it is tough sometimes to follow.
Might not always be
Right.
available.
Right. So I think it'd be a great opportunity, one, to showcase our students, showcase our programs, and help our community connect back to our schools through our activities. So we'll see how it works, but it is pretty professional looking. Like you can put our logos, you can put the away team logos on there, and it really is really cool. It looks like a regular game. Now we only have one camera, so we're not going to have all these great shots from one side to the other and a sky cam behind the quarterback at home. Like we're not going to have all that, but we'll have a good clean picture and go from there. So you'll probably see us doing a little bit of work out on the field, football field and soccer field, to get something on top of the press box, so we can get a good clean shot. There's not, our windows inside the press box really aren't conducive for this, so this is going to be a learning year with this for sure. But I think it will help us move at least our YouTube numbers a little bit.
Do you know, what about when we have like three events happening in one night?
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Just take one?
Yeah, we just have to select which one right now. We could eventually, we do have 3 units that can connect to scoreboards, but we don't have enough cameras, and then the other equipment that does sends it out to we don't have all of that. But once we get that equipment and the people to run it, you know, that's the other thing, is we could broadcast one to YouTube, one to Facebook, one to Twitter, one to Instagram. So you could have 4 multiple things going, but on different platforms.
Yeah,
So, you know, that is an option. So we're gonna have to work through all of that.
yeah.
But ideally, we would have a softball game at 4 o'clock and then followed by a football game at 7. I mean, you could just have all of that, or
Go from
volleyball,
one to the next.
right, sort of thing. And so we're really just gonna focus, try to get varsity first. So we know we're gonna have problems with that, but I think it'll definitely help us with communication and getting more interest in following us online.
And then is it only for sports, or will, like, I know the challenge with the arts is that a lot of times that those materials are licensed.
Correct.
And so do you know if this is something that we can't do unless it's original material?
Yeah, like the play, you can't do the play.
Oh, right,
The
yeah,
play is
yeah.
pretty
Right.
strict about that.
When you
But
pay it anyways. I mean, yeah, sorry, no, everything else you're paying it into, never mind.
yeah, so like the band, concert, that's where, if we can get audio working, like that's our big thing. Can we get quality audio into
Yeah.
the system? We're struggling a little bit with that right now, but you know, if we can get that going, we can definitely get a band concert. You know, if we can plug it in from the back of the sound booth
Or-
at
yeah.
the high school, and it's going through the microphones, we should be able to have good ones there. And then even like graduation, if we could have like the name of the kids and it would pop up, say, you know, Troy Anderson's going to German State, you know, and
That would be
have that
nice.
as they're going across the stage. And that takes some coordination and a lot of work, but that's sort of things that we're thinking about. How do we do this and really make it a better connection for people that can't be here in person. So that's kind of communication.
All right, thank you. Good.
Okay, CSIP, this is just kind of our monthly going over the CSIP thing. So Lucy, if you wouldn't mind pulling the
That's
CSIP
the right
up.
one.
Yep. Thank you very much. And we're just going to kind of hit the highlights on this. You know, we're supposed to review this regularly according to DESE. So we're talking about CSIP. And this year, if you notice, 24-25 is the last year of this CSIP, and we will be working on rewriting that this year. We're going to get into that in new business in a minute, but just kind of let you know where we are on this. You know, increased eligibility, we are not quite there this year. We are seeing some improvement, but we're falling short of that goal 1. Lucy, you can just go on to the next one. Goal 2, 75% of all students will be at grade level. We are very close to that, but again, just short of that. Hopefully we'll hit it this year. We have a new assessment, STAR assessment that's helping us get there. Longitudinal math data, this is kind of our academic dashboard we're working on. We had a good meeting this week with Tableau. So we have that built through Pulse, and I think this will all translate fairly smoothly. Of course, never know until you actually are in it, but that probably won't be finally done until, I'm hoping by Thanksgiving, fingers crossed, because we should have access to that in October. So we're definitely working closer to that. Health and well-being, let's see, centralized location, we met that, so we have that one met. And then go on down, Lucy. Let's see, that is our discipline. We weren't close on that at all, so we probably just need a new goal there. I don't know that we're ever gonna hit that. Retain 90% of staff. This was our best year of staff retention that we've had in a long time, but we just, we're over that 90% mark. And mainly, that hurt us really on the retention side was the number of retirements. So we just had a lot of people retire, that's what we want. We want people to stay all the way to the end.
Right.
But we also had
I
about,
almost feel like that shouldn't count. as
Right,
part of that
exactly,
goal,
right.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's a
Right.
different, if they're truly retiring and they're not like leaving
Right.
education or something like that, it seems to me like it should really.
right. And that might be a conversation with the CSIP committee to rewrite that to maybe a number of teachers going to other districts or something like that.
Or leaving leaving
Sure.
education probably too.
So
but-
probably need to rework that goal a little bit. But this year, we had 14 teachers at this point go to other districts. It's the best we've had in a long time. Normally, we were in the 19 to 20 range, 25 range. So we did a pretty good job of retaining our staff from going to other districts this year, but didn't make that goal.
Does, the numbers ever get messed up if someone transfers, like, from a teaching position to an admin? Like, does it say that they've left, or is it,
Yeah, we count them, so it gets tricky on how you count this a little bit. So an internal person goes from a teaching position into an internal position of administrator position, we would say that we've retained them.
Yeah,
We didn't lose them. Now, if somebody leaves us from, goes, let's say becomes a counselor or assistant principal or something like that, we consider that a loss. We didn't retain that person. So even though they are just moving up in their career and moving on, it would not be a retention count. So basically, if they stay with us, they count. If they leave, they
Okay,
count.
No,
good,
yeah.
yeah.
So, okay, Lucy, go on down. Let's see, goal 2, let's see, we're on,
No.
nope, did not make that.
No salary,
Long
hourly
way to go
wage,
there. Yep.
same or higher than Wright City, you can't get there.
Yep, offering other mental options for staff, yes, we're working with their insurance on that. They've been offering more options than we had before, so we're meeting that goal. And then parent community, let's see, the top one there was, academic platform, which we were close to doing. Like, this has been the big lift. You kind of see that theme throughout all of these, and we're very, very close to that. Then each building will host an event, and we're definitely doing that. So, you know, we got to remember this was written kind of coming out of those COVID times when little people weren't in. So we're definitely there. So, and you see some of these goals are kind of getting long in the tooth and probably need to be rewritten and changed. And so every 3 years is probably about the right timeline to revisit, change, and update. And so we'll be doing that this year. And then partnerships between community and students. Yes, we are working on, really the big lift here is going to be our registered youth apprenticeships, which we have a pilot going with one of our students this year. Is going to work in our bus garage and work on beginning their diesel mechanic certification. Hopefully by the time they graduate high school, then they go out and go from there. So, but we are piloting that so we can then communicate to businesses. And I've been talking to some people a little bit about it as we're going along. That's a federal program and a lot of rules in the Department of Labor that you have to follow. So we're seeing some expansion there, which is exciting. And then are we on facilities?
Yeah,
So-
classroom size ratios and
Yep.
building occupancy requirements.
Yeah, I think we're doing good there. You know, passing the bond is going to help us, and we're fine right now, so we're in good shape with that. And then,
Early childhood facility.
yep, again, that's the bonds, passing that. I'd say we're meeting that. And then the bus fleet, so we purchased some new buses, and that's what we did. So, and the process is here, and this is the same process that I just copied over and put into our discussion for new business. So we'll talk more about our process and if we want to change anything at that time. So thank you, Lucy. And the last thing on the reports, I believe, was just our financial report. I got it, Lucy, I think.
Sorry.
You're fine, I got it. Okay, so this is just kind of our fund balances compared to last year. This is the end of the year, so this is final, this is where we landed, sort of thing. So we ended up a little bit better than we were last year at 39.7%. And the top is our operating revenues. We were pretty close to where the budget was compared to last year. We were 7% off on what we thought revenue was gonna be in. A little tighter there. Of course, we were short $1 million, so maybe that would bump up a little bit. So, you know, we tend to under budget revenue, just, and then expenses, we tend to over budget expenses. So we weren't as tight on expense budget as we were before. Fund balances, again, we're about the same. So is that me? So,
Yeah, I think I just turn it off.
turn it off, you think? Yeah. Just want to make sure folks online can grab it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this is our fund balance percentage, and they are, you know, as you can see, pretty much exactly where we ended last year. So very similar trajectories there. Revenue, local money was up. That's local taxes, Prop C. Those are the things we saw increases. County was up a little bit. State money was down. That's because we did not get the early childhood special education funding like we normally. They ran out of money, didn't have it for us. But the big drop was federal because the COVID money just wasn't there. So we received almost $1 million less in revenue this year than we did last year, but most of that was the federal side that was used in capital projects. So operations-wise, we're up a little bit, but capital projects we were down. On projects we can do, expenses, we gave raises, so we saw you know, an increase in salaries, which means increase in benefits. Purchase services were down, and supplies were up just a little bit as well. So we spent a little bit more than $1 million, about 1.3 million more than we did last year. So fund balances, capital projects, we ended the year about 1.4 million in the bank, which is good, and we're seeing that increase a little bit. So our goal there really in the next 5 to 7, 8 years is end the year with about $2 million. So we have $1 million to replace a football field when it needs to be done, and that we don't have to go out for bond issues or look for the money, you know, it's just there. So that's the financial report.
Okay, thank you. I think we are at the consent agenda, so if you guys have had a chance to take a look at that, if someone's ready to make a motion, or there's something you want to move out of there, that's fine too.
Just one thing, Carolyn brought up, there was a typo on the Truesdale agreement. I reached out to Truesdale. It says something about, I think, searching students or something like that if needed. And it says studs instead of students, so good catch,
I
Carolyn.
missed that completely.
Yeah, so,
I was like, let's just be really clear about what we're
Yes,
searching, so
yes.
it says that
right.
we can do that.
So that, they are gonna send me a new agreement.
Okay,
So I just don't have it right now.
but as far as the cost split and with
Right.
them and everything like that, all of that's the same, it's just a
Right.
typo one.
Right, so we might not be able, might have to sign it twice for those of you that signed things, so if that's the
Okay.
case.
Okay,
And then we do have a office available.
Oh,
for
yeah,
that.
yeah, space for everybody, we have that now, space for everybody's fine,
Okay.
oh, good.
yeah.
I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the amendments presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Carolyn. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda, the error corrected in the one document. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. And we are ready for old business, so we have a policy approval.
Yep, this is our policy that had the link wrong a couple months ago. This is just visitors to the district cannot be under the influence or have marijuana on them, even if they have a medical marijuana card.
Move to approve the policy as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve the policy as presented. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. And then we have our bad news about the communications.
Right, yeah, and I was hoping to have the contract here tonight, but they have not been able to give me the contract yet, so again, this might be something we sign later, but we can get it approved tonight, hopefully, if this is the direction you want to go. So, if you remember back a few months ago, we had a communication tower off Highway U, it's owned by Ameren. We were getting a great deal on this, about $100 or less, maybe $10.
I think it was $10.
$10, yeah,
a year or
$10,
something
yeah, very,
crazy like
very,
that.
basically free. And so they stopped doing that and charging us normal rates they charge everyone else. And so that rate is $12,730 for the year, and it'll continue to increase. So we went to try to find another way to do this, and we had our company come out, and we were going to test on the Warrior Ridge water tower right there by Warrior Ridge, and see if they had a strong enough signal to get all the way down. But when they got to test it, they realized that some of the coax was not good, and they couldn't do the test, and they had to fix all of this. And so that we're still waiting on those parts to come in when they can get access to the water tower, which I think they're doing that tomorrow, I think. But anyway, I'm just concerned we're not going to be able to get everything done before school starts, and we need to have communication with our buses. So what I'm recommending is we just do this for 1 year, and Ameren's agreed to that. They just haven't got me the contract. So we've been in communication with them, and they just haven't got me the official contract for a 1 year agreement.
Yeah, 'cause the original one was like 3 years and it went up every year.
Yeah, I think
right?
even 5 years, yeah.
Okay, maybe 5.
It was a long time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, so they've agreed to that. They're gonna send it to us, and so this just basically buys us time to get everything repaired that needs to be repaired, and then figure out, is this gonna work? And we have to replace some antennas on the bus themselves to make sure they can receive, everything can receive. So there's just kind of a lot of moving parts to get it done before school starts. I'm just not confident we can do it, even if it would work.
And I don't like the cost, but at the same time, I think this board has been really clear that safety is one of our big concerns. And safety of our students on the buses, safety of the bus drivers, they need to be able to communicate with the bus garage if anything happens. And we've had things happen.
Okay.
We've had people get stuck or whatever when there's bad
Sure.
weather and, so that's important, I think. But
Or even just first day of school when a kid gets on the wrong bus, and
Yes.
parents are very nervous
all
about
of
where
those
their kids
things.
are.
And we all know, those of us who live out in the edges of the district especially know that there are still places that you can't get a cell signal.
And who is this contract with again?
Ameren.
Ameren.
What is the contract
September 1st is, yeah, so it'd be from September to September.
And that should give us time to get our equipment.
I would
going.
think, and if we push it, maybe we can get there. I just don't know that we can, and
I understand your concern about that.
yeah.
I'm fine with this for peace of mind of knowing that come August, everything is at least
Sure.
situated for this school year. We don't have any curveballs.
So, just to understand, I remember us talking about all this, so this is basically where our communication stuff is at now currently.
Correct. It's there now. It works perfectly, no problems. It's been there for a decade plus.
And this contract, they're guarantee us that this year it will work the same.
Right.
blah, blah, blah.
Everything works the same, and just no changes really until we can get the time to test things and make sure we have the right equipment. And then eventually, our goal would be to not pay this anymore.
Right.
Right.
Is there any way to do a month-to-month contract with them?
No, they just want to do 1 year.
Just
Yeah,
trying to save
right,
money.
I
right.
know, but at least
Right.
it's better than the 5 years with the increasing cost each
Right.
year.
But I was just
so-
thinking though that they, they have that Dollar More program. What does their Dollar More program go to? Because I give $1 more every month, and I know Quiver River has Operation Roundup,
Right.
because I'm on that board.
Yeah.
And we give $30,000 to $35,000 a month away to programs and stuff. Does Ameren have any programs that we could actually tap into grant-wise or anything like that says, hey, can you offset some of this cost? We are in public education and we're taking, I just don't know.
We could look into that, and I think that's what they were doing before, is giving us a sweetheart deal because we're
Right.
a public school and like.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with, like, she said there as far as peace of mind, that's where it's, I'm just always looking for, I'm a bargain hunter.
Right, well, that's why we were.
Especially when it comes to
asking.
education, everybody knows that we're,
Right. But I understand if we can't get our stuff all ready and we're not sure about that, I feel like we need to be certain that we can communicate, so.
And I personally don't wanna keep kicking it down the line.
Right.
Because we've already we've already looked through a few different things, and so that's how I feel.
Well, Amber probably has a deadline for the signing contract like that.
They do, and it's September 1st, I think, so.
It is.
Yeah, so we just want to,
Right.
to me, just let's close this,
Right.
they know we're.
Covered.
good.
Care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of us want to pay the costs, but I think we're
Kind of stuck.
stuck. Yeah.
So I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the rental space, oh, yeah, online communication tower as presented.
I'll second it.
The motion's been made, and seconded to approve the rental space on the communication tower as presented. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Okay. New business.
Yep, this is just our final budget revision, and just kind of shows where we were. We didn't have any changes in revenue, so 2 weeks ago, whenever we did this, it stayed exactly the same. But salaries, we did have a couple of final bills and closeout supply accounts and things that was about $135,000 less than what we had before, so that put our ending fund balance at the 39.7% for operations. And just to point out where we were in fiscal year 20, we were at 13.8. So the board's done a great job of getting it there and doing good work with our finances to get us back on solid footing. So good job, Board of Education.
Good job to you too,
Yeah,
because you
team
worked
effort.
hard on that.
Team.
Together, everyone.
Go
she's
Warriors.
That's right, go Warriors. That was not a fun time to go through, but,
No.
but we're in a good spot now, so good job, everybody.
Awesome. Moving forward.
I move to approve the budget amendments as presented.
A second.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Rich. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the budget amendment as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. And now we're CSIP again. We're back to CSIP again.
More CSIP. Yep, so just want to make sure everyone's okay with our structure, the changes we want to make on this. I thought it worked out pretty well last time when we developed this. We had 36 people, and this room really doesn't hold many more than that comfortably. So this is where we hold the meetings typically. And so we would, our first meeting, we would kind of come together and talk about what are our top areas we want to be. Then people kind of divided into subcommittees and then worked on areas of interest that they wanted to work on. They developed the goals, and then administration came back and put the action steps on. And so we had 3 Board of Education members, all of our building administration, superintendent, assistant superintendent, 5 teachers, 10 parents, 5 community members, which we tried to be non-school people, but sometimes that overlaps a little bit. But we try to get a balance there. A couple of students, and then somebody from Alpha, early childhood, another parent from Alpha, another parent from early childhood. So that's kind of our structure we had. I don't know if anybody want to make any changes or.
I thought the organization seemed to work well last time.
Last time was the first time we had students join us, it was great.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
They were good.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it worked well, good cross-section of the community, good discussion, so. Makes sense to me.
So I'd like to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the CSIP committee structure as presented.
Second.
Okay, thanks Jeff for the second. The motion's been made and seconded to approve the CSIP committee organization as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay, and that motion passes. And now we're down to the school board member ethics policy, BBF, and this is something we just have to approve every
Yep.
2 years.
Every 2
right?
years, the Missouri Ethics Commission requires that we do this. MSBA recommends we do it annually. It's actually easier for us to remember if we do it annually. And so we'll just
That makes
do it.
sense.
There's no change to this policy. This is why we're not doing a first read and second read. It's the exact same policy, but basically that we are ethical.
It's all good stuff in here.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the policy as presented.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Deanna got the second.
Starting
We're
at the
having,
end tonight.
we're having a competition now.
We're moving it along.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve policy BBF. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Motion passes. And we have several first reads.
Yes. Do we go through those or just,
I don't know, has anybody looked at anything and have a question about anything at this point? Are these all recommendations from MSBA?
yes, all MSBA recommendations and all pretty much aligned to new laws or
Okay,
regulations.
okay.
Can you explain the setting tuition for district programs, the new law that allows districts to bill back resident schools and non-resident students placed in a residential psychiatric facility?
Yep, so that's not gonna impact us. We do not have a residential psychiatric facility here, but, what they're saying here is if we did have a residential psychiatric facility here and the student was placed in our district, that student could enroll in our district, we would receive revenue for that, essentially. But that would then, because we could then charge the state for, attendance dollars and enrollment dollars. So that's kind of the idea, is I think those school districts that have those facilities are like, hey, we have all these kids here, and they're probably providing some resources to them, I would think. And so they're asking for that to happen, and I guess there's a new law that changed that to allow that to happen. So it won't impact us here, but if we would get a residential psychiatric facility here,
It could.
it could in the future.
For student records, it says that we have to permanently retain the IEPs and 504.
Yes.
Will electronic be sufficient, or will it have to be physical?
Electronic, I believe is fine. But yeah, permanently that's a long time, like, I don't know, forever, so.
Yeah.
I just think like the storage, 'cause
Right.
it's not like a simple paper per kid.
Right.
Like,
No,
and so
that's-
that's why I was like, oh, yeah.
So we'll be curious to learn from others how they're planning on tackling that.
Mhm. Okay, so it's just the first read, so we're not gonna take any action tonight. There are several there, so I would, encourage you to look through all of them for sure before our next monthly board meeting, in case there is anything to catch. But I think otherwise we're good at this point. And that brings us to miscellaneous, and first thing is celebrations.
We have to celebrate the Fair Queen.
I was gonna say, we
I was
have
gonna give them a
a
chance to say it.
father of the Fair Queen sitting here, so that's pretty exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
I would also just like to, I mean, coming out of the week of the county fair, I think what probably impressed me the most is the FFA 4-H kids, right, they're there all week, they're working all week, they're working with their animals, but what really impresses me is just the community that continues to come out and support them, not only at the auction, but several of the judges at the county fair livestock shows commented on how many people are in the stands at the livestock shows, and that's not normal for, I know most people don't go to livestock shows for a week, but, it's not normal to go to those county fairs and see that many people in the livestock building, and it's pretty awesome that year after year.
A lot of
it
support.
continues
Yeah.
To keep going, so.
And our new FFA teacher started.
Mhm.
She was there. I saw her helping with things outside and in the ring and so forth. So that was good to see her out and about and getting involved and getting to know the kids a little bit. It's always the first week of their employment is the fair, so that's kind of trial by fire or something, but it's good to see her there. So.
Finish another year of summer school, today was the last day. And that's always exciting that they finished, and now it's enrichment camp time.
That's right.
Anybody else have anything? It's summer, so it's
Yeah.
different.
Well, the parade was fun too, and there were some of our,
Yeah.
like our band was in the
Yeah.
parade and stuff like that, so it's always cool to see them.
It was a small group, but it's really nice to have some band participation there. It doesn't seem like a parade without it to me, so I was tickled. And there were several alumni playing with the band, and that's always fun that they invite them to come back and play, so. Okay, work session topics, we don't need any.
Nothing for July, so we're good.
Okay.
Unless you just want to get together.
I doubt if anybody will.
I'll be gone.
We're
Yeah.
gonna be missing people, so that's probably good that we don't need one. All right, so we're ready to set our next regular meeting.
I make a motion to set the next regular Board of Education meeting for August 8th, 2024.
I'll second.
Okay, so Sarah made the motion, Caroline seconded that we have our next regular Board of Education meeting August 8th, 2024. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Meeting set, and then we need a motion for the closed session.
I make a motion to set the next closed Board of Education meeting to immediately precede the August 8th, 2024 regular meeting.
I'll second it.
There we go, Ginger got in there after all. Motion's been made and seconded to set the next closed Board of Education meeting to immediately precede the August 8th, 2024 regular meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The motion carries. And we are down to adjournment.
So moved.
I knew he was gonna get it. There you go. That was your cue, Rich.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. And the meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody. 36 minutes.
Set precedent.
Very good, very good. With some
Well,
lights.
some of it's easy to roll through quickly, though.
She's got us on a
What
roll.
was
Right.
the board session, like 10 minutes?
It's my baby's
Just hit,
birthday. I gotta go home.
it was
Oh, we
short.
got cake to have.
Celebrate that.
Yeah, we got cake. I had to work all
I
day
don't know,
too.
but I was like, oh, I don't want Jeff